Hello, Jurassic Edits X. Hello, carry me through. Hopefully I got everything the way I want it, the way I need it. Feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Oh, I know what else I wanted up. From my reference. Give me a second. I'm hopefully trying to bring something else up that I needed up. I don't know if it'll come up. Darn it. So today the plan is to do a zoo to do, go over it, and then do a really short exhibit focus, and then go from there, I guess. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? Oh, I forgot. That's what I forgot. And switch this over because I forgot to do this too. Okay. Anyway. How has everybody's week been? Mine is stressful. Because I still have no idea when I'm going to get called up for jury duty. It has been cold, and I don't know if it's going to make any difference next week or not. Well, it's already 4 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. People can join in later when they get here. Hi, Shelby Potet. Shelby, don't spam my channel. We're going to start here. So all prices that I mentioned are per person, everyone participating. Oh, I forgot. Hi, Mussen King Kwang. Hello. We are doing the Fort Worth Zoo today. This is a zoo to do. Hello, Sheldon. How are you? All prices are per person. Everyone participating must have their own ticket. Zoo members receive a 10% discount. Participants must be at least 8 years old. That's okay. Hi, Flap. Minors under 16 must have an adult present. Closed-toed shoes are required. We are talking about the Fort Worth Zoo and the little extras that you can do for a little bit more money. So the first experience that you can do at this zoo is their tortoise experience. It is on the first and third Saturday and Sunday of every month from May to September. It costs $75 and up to 5 people can participate. It lasts 20 minutes and begins at 10:30. You cannot be late. If you're there at 10:45, you will have to reschedule your activity. You have to set up your experience 2 weeks in advance, and your payment is non-refundable. Bird Nerd experience is $75 per person, and 5 people can participate. It lasts 30 minutes and begins at 11 a.m. Again, people that are 8 to 16 years of age must have an adult with them. It is wheelchair accessible. I thought it sounded cute. Oops, I lost my place. The giraffe experience is $200 per person and lasts 60 minutes. Again, maximum people is 5 minutes. Sorry for what? It begins at 9 a.m. It lasts July 10th through August 13th. It begins at 8, but once the summer switches over, then the time switches to 9 a.m. The owl experience is Sundays at 2 p.m. only. It is $75 per person. Last 30 minutes. It is wheelchair accessible. Now, I don't know what all goes into these experiences, so yeah. Now we move into now we're going to switch into accessibility. So right off the bat, all of these things are first come, first serve. So a single stroller is $12 plus tax. A double stroller is $14 plus tax. If you live outside of the United States, we're talking about baby strollers. Motorized scooters are $40 all day. These items cannot be reserved, and children cannot ride on the motorized scooters. Sensory bags are available. There is not a rental fee for those. Bags are first come, first serve, and they cannot be reserved. When it comes to service animals, you need to check in at the guest relations when you arrive. Your serviced animal is not allowed in the following places: the Children's Ranch, Kitty Corral, Brush Country Aviary, Flamingos of America, and Flamingos of Africa. There is a social story that you can download, an accessibility guide, and an accessibility map that you can download. There are also communication boards that you can download and view. Something neat that the Fort Worth Zoo does is they have a program. Yes. The Texas Nature Traders is something special that the Fort Worth Zoo does. We're going to talk about that here in a second because it's pretty neat. Hopefully I can bring it up. Yes. Texas Nature Traders. It is in the Mountains and Deserts building in Texas Wild. It is a program for those who are interested in exploring. Mainly, it is for kids ages 3 and older, including Kids at Heart. You can bring in fossils, rocks, bones, plants, other artifacts. With each exchange, you can earn points to redeem for different items. So, you can bring in an item that you want to know more about. For instance, this. Okay, this happens to be this happens to be the spine off of a pencil urchin, but I could bring this in, share what you know about your item with your staff member, earn points for your item and your knowledge about the item, trade your points for something in our collection, or save them for later. You can also find out more about it. Now, there are some guidelines, okay, associated with this. Kids of all ages, including adults, can become Texas Nature Traders. No, you can trade it. You can do that. You can do a tooth. Children may trade up to 4 items per visit. One item can be a collection of 5 or more like items. Okay, so you can't bring in a tooth, a bone, an egg, whatever. Siblings and friends cannot split points. Each trade-in must be done by one individual. So, antlers, horns, teeth, and claws, beach-combed, non-harvested coral, fossils, snake sheds, cast of animal footprints, cleaned shells, dry sand, rocks and minerals, clean bones, deceased insects, spiders, butterflies, nature journals, printed photos, art stories, pine cones, nuts, seeds, and seed pods, petrified wood. What they don't want: items found on zoo grounds, items from state or national parks, arrowheads or Native American artifacts, intentionally killed vertebrates, dried seahorses, mounted vertebrates, purchased items. So I couldn't trade this. Bird materials of any kind. So you cannot bring in feathers, eggs, or nest, or bird bones. Remember, bird feathers would be protected by the Migratory Bird Act. They don't want live animals or live plants, anything from caves, no freshwater mussel shells, materials from the family pet. So no domestic snake sheds, no dead animals, although dead insects are okay. They even have quests that you can do, and you can download those. There are several of those. I'm not going to get into each and every one of them. You do have to register for that. No roadkill. Now, if you found roadkill and you took it home and you buried it, and then you brought the skull into the zoo once it was cleaned out, that might be okay. Now, if you're curious, you can take a picture of a bird feather and bring that in, and that would be okay. Okay, so the next part of our live is an exhibit that I'm not going to be able to do justice to. I don't think. Let's see. I'm going to put it into chat. No. I mean, I wouldn't, because my luck is I would get arrested, but yeah, don't do it. Okay, so I'm going to not pronounce this because it's a very terrible sounding name for an exhibit. That is the name of the exhibit. It is at the Ostrava Anyway, assuming I spelled it right the first time. Yeah, it's from that city in the Czech Republic. I want to tell you that it impressed me. This area is close to 4 acres in size. It is home to a mix of animals, basically from fish to mammals. There are no birds, and there is at least one turtle that I know of. There are 18 total species in the exhibit. It features animals from Nepal's oldest nature preserve. You are not going to find Amur tigers. You're not going to find Bengal tigers. You're not going to find Asian elephants. You are not going to find Indian rhinos. What you are going to find may be the most, I don't want to say bizarre, but the most special Asiatic black bear exhibits you are ever going to see. More on that later. There are 2 large fish tanks, and there are at least, let's see, there's 18 animals. I should say there are 18 species on exhibit. So 18 species minus 5. There are 13 species of fish that call this exhibit home. There is 1 fish or 1 reptile. This is where it gets special. The Asiatic black bear exhibit, which is pretty good sized. It is naturally wooded. There are at least, I believe, 4 different viewing areas to see the animals from. Yeah, you will. The black bears share their exhibit with Hanuman langurs. If you don't know, this animal is a monkey. And they literally share space with the bears. I don't know what that looks like, to be honest, but supposedly they do. There's also another exhibit that houses Asian short-clawed otters and binturongs. Now, they are not in with the bears. But if this were in a zoo in my area, it would be a go-to. Like, it would be one that I would go and see every single time I visited. We do multi-species exhibits in the United States, but usually we don't have predators in with other animals. Not like this. Europe is very different that way. I mean, a lot of times, if they have gorillas, is there another name for the Asiatic black bear? I don't know if this is the one they call the moon bear. Yes. The Asiatic black bear is also called the Himalayan black bear, the moon bear, or the white-chested bear. Hi, Lauren. So yes, they do have different names. Also in Europe, and we probably will not do a exhibit focus talking about this, but it is really common in Europe. If you have a gorilla exhibit, yes, gorillas and other monkeys housed together, very, very common in European zoos. There might be one or two zoos in the United States that do that. But I don't know. So that's what I have for right now. I am babysitting again tomorrow. Yay. I'm supposed to be done at noon. We'll see. Right now, my brain is sort of shut down because I'm tired. No, the sun bears are quite a bit smaller than the Asiatic black bear. Sloth bear, not the same bear. Tomorrow, if you like sharks, you're going to like tomorrow's live. We are doing basking shark and the oceanic white-tip shark. Lives for the next 2 weeks are going to be hit or miss, potentially, because I have jury duty. At some point. I still have not heard when or if. But I can tell you, we have some really cool things going on over the next week. So be here for those. Also, it's not necessarily a new thing, but if you look at the pinned comments, you'll notice that it is different than what it has been. Yes, I did, but you still have to wait to find out. Like, I qualified, but I have not heard anything back from them about what date, what time. So I have already talked with the moderators, so they know sort of how that stuff is going to work. Yeah, I'm not done yet, Sheldon. We can stay in chat. But basically, I'm basically keeping track of what happens. I haven't figured everything out yet. Oh, that's what I need to do. It was... Nope, I was just telling you what was going on. I was wrapping up my end of it. You guys can ask questions or chat, whatever. I will get tomorrow's video up and posted. Hi, Julie K. How are you? And if you can, tell us where you're from. How's your Friday going? I know I'm throwing a lot at you. That looks like Yoda. No idea. What was I gonna look up? Oh yeah, now I remember. Lantern moths. You mean the lantern? No, I haven't. Top shelf. The very, very top. Sorry, guys. Sheldon, did you hear that there was a crested caracara in Yellowstone National Park? It was also reported in Teton National Park. So up on the top shelf, yeah. I saw it in one of my Facebook posts. I don't remember which one it was in. And it was confirmed. I can't find it now. I have only seen pictures. I have not seen the actual animals. I cannot find the thing. Lantern moth. Sorry, I was trying to show you that thing you were looking at and forgot to bring it back down. It was spotted in Lamar Valley in northern Yellowstone Park and Little America areas. So it's really out of place because these birds do not typically live in Yellowstone. It is way too far north. I'm assuming Florida, Texas, down south, but not up where there's snow. So it's really weird for an animal like that to be that far north. Really, really weird. Yeah. Maybe an escaped animal from a zoo? I don't know if you can keep those for pets. It would be I don't even know legally if you can keep them for pets. I understand being excited. No, but it should. Sheldon, is this what you're talking about? The spotted lanternfly? No, I have not. I consider myself lucky. They're nasty. Yeah, I don't know if there's other species of it. That is weird. Why hospitals? Is it the plants at the hospitals that they're attracted to, maybe? Hello, everybody out there that we are not able to see. I hope you're having a great weekend. Huh. I'm sure they're in Indiana. I don't know if they're this far north just yet. I'm just glad I haven't been bit by any carpenter ants lately. Knock on wood. I know further east they have them. I don't know about in my I don't know about in my state. They have been spotted in Indiana. They were spotted in Switzerland County near the Ohio River. Oh, we might have them in my county. They could be my county. I just haven't seen them. Right. They're nasty. Well, I know they're in the county directly to the east of me, so I just haven't seen them. It says grapes are an issue. Yeah. I guess South Korea has them really bad. Well, South Korea has them as an invasive species. So I don't know where they originally come from. But and the problem with insects is they can hitch a ride. And depending upon how many hitch a ride, you could be they could come in as eggs. And before you know it, you got major issues. They are pretty, but I don't want them around. Somehow, I like to bet they have mosquitoes. Pretty much. Maybe not in Antarctica yet. Depending upon what time I get done babysitting tomorrow, the 1 p.m. live may just be a chat. People really seem to like the nature fact shorts. I've been noticing. Awesome, awesome. Good, good. I'm glad people are enjoying them. I'm a little bit behind on the plant things. If I didn't have to be up early tomorrow, I would take a nap. Although I could have taken a nap when I got home today. I should have. Yes, I would. They probably have earwigs too. my nephew, the father of the kiddo that I was watching today, put on Blippi. I don't know if you guys know what that is or not, but I was listening to him talk. And there were a couple times where he's supposed to be an educational thing for kids. And he was putting out wrong information. And I was going to go back and watch one of the episodes that was on. But I'm like, why would you do that? No, it's live action. But I don't know, it was interesting. But not as bad as Cocomelon, so Barney and Cocomelon would be no's in my house. I agree. I saw something that blew my mind. I belong to a group on Facebook. The problem is it's not just kids. Oh yeah, agreed. Not really in so much that they were teaching the wrong thing. A lady was watching kids in a neighborhood they were eating fruits off of a tree. And the parents were right there letting it happen. And she was so worried that they were poisonous that she went over, took pictures of the fruit, and posted it to this Facebook group, wanting to know if they were poisonous or not. Do you know what it was? It was mulberry. Mulberry. We need a Mr. Rogers for nature. Now, this group that I belong to that I was telling you about, they also do like if your dog eats a mushroom, you take pictures of the plant and send it in. You don't. The thing is, though, if you grew up eating mulberries, then you would know what they were. But nowadays, if you have a phone, you can look it up. I mean, mulberries, I don't think, at least you've never had a mulberry. We got to change that. It's like people taking pictures of blackberries. There are people who don't know what blackberry is. They think it's poison ivy. Poison ivy doesn't have thorns. One person wrote in wanting to know if they were poisonous. I about died. To the best of my knowledge, there are no poisonous berries in the blackberry raspberry family. So if you're out in the woods and you find something that looks like a blackberry, it's edible. On the other hand, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. And in case you're wondering, not every blue fruit is edible. Just saying. To me, a mulberry looks a lot like, sort of like a raspberry and a blackberry. Slightly different. Somehow they should. I think it's either in Kansas or Missouri. They opened up a school. And it's like a release time thing that you go to. They teach you canoeing, fishing, edible plants, science stuff. They have nature trails. It's amazing. And they have a science lab. Sheldon, I hate to say it, but I think you would be hard pressed for schools nowadays to have that. Not good enough. And not every kid is in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. And a lot of what I learned outside of Boy Scouts. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't have experiences in Boy Scouts, but most of what I know because I've learned it. Now, I had poison ivy drilled into my head, but my story, Sheldon, about the beaver slapping their tail, that was at a park in Illinois called Starved Rock. And literally, we were on the trail at night, heading back to the car, and we heard it. Hi, silly. And it was a Boy Scout trip. My one and only time seeing a eastern hognose snake, Boy Scout activity. Silly Vanny. I am not a granny. You need to look at the pinned comments. When I was a kid, we were at a Boy Scout encampment within our state. We were camping at the Indiana Dunes State Park. And it is 2:00 in the morning, and we could hear, Mike, there's a porcupine in my tent. Mike. Two things wrong with that. One big thing wrong with that. We don't have porcupines in the state of Indiana. Well, we did, but we haven't in a very long time. I have no idea. It ended up being a Boy Scout troop from Chicago. They had food in their tents, and the porcupine was a raccoon. So it just goes to show you that Yeah. I mean, animals can be scary. I'm not going to deny that. If you're into edible plants, there's a few YouTubers, one in particular that I really like. Compared with me, he's a kid. But he knows his stuff. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Um, Sheldon, is that something? There's there are Instagrammers that I have respect for. Not a lot of them on YouTube so far. But that might change. Thank you for respecting Godzilla. But it's not really part of my YouTube channel. Sometimes it is. And I have no idea how to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to try. But yeah, that's why I started my channel. And I'm not saying that I get everything spot on right when I do a live, but I try. Instagram, there's quite a few people on there that I really, truly have respect for. She is, one of them is a lady from Australia. Believe she's American that moved to Australia. She's amazing. I have to stand up, guys. Give me a second. most of my channel is about nature. There's a young man that lives in my area that very spiritual when it comes to nature. He is in the process of restoring an area that basically is pine and invasives. He has a natural, believe it's a natural plant nursery that he operates or works for. And he's from the United States. Really, really cool kid. I say cool. I say kid. He's in his 20s, maybe early 30s. Yeah. So there are people who know what they're talking about. Adam. I need more than Adam because I don't know a lot of them by name. You should do Spacevo. What is... I don't know what that is. Space evolution? Space EVO? Sheldon, what does Adam do? I think that the thing that frustrates me is things that should be common sense. I've seen people twice now Yeah, that's not what my channel is about. I'm sure there's YouTubers out there who do that sort of stuff. I'll have to look him up. There's also a guy down south who also is really into protecting nature. Okay. You should know in the very least, okay? In the very least, you should know the plants that grow in your yard. You should know if they're poisonous or not. You should know the trees in your yard. And you should have an idea of, and you should know the to a certain extent, you should know the animals that visit your yard. I don't do mushrooms. I talk about animals. You can look in my channel and see my videos once you subscribe. Now, I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite. There are plants in my yard that I don't know the identity of. I'm working on them, but I don't know the identity of every single one. But for the majority of them, I do. But see, though, even weeds can be poisonous or edible. I would rather have 10 million edible weeds than 100 poisonous ones. I had somebody a couple of years ago, maybe longer. I have a patch right in front of my yard that is mine. It's where my hostas grow. It's where my it's where my columbine grows. I had a guy, one of my neighbors, just walk right through it. So when the birds, probably robins, dropped poison ivy seeds in my garden, I let them grow. You know what's nasty? I haven't had it cooked. But I've tried dead nettle. What games did I play when we were young? What games do I play now? I just got done playing Injustice. It is an Emmett family. It's not one of my favorite plants. I have not had stinging nettle. I've not had chicory. Haven't had clover. I've had deep fried dandelion. How deep can kelp grow? Are you from America? I'll just give both. So giant kelp can grow to depths of 100 feet, with maximum depths in California reaching 98 feet. I've not had dock, and I've not had burdock. But we have curly dock, which might be the same as yellow dock. Yeah, don't eat daffodils. I believe in parts of Europe, there were people eating tulips, at least tulip bulbs, during World War II. But daffodils are definitely something you don't want to eat at all. You should not eat any mushrooms that you find in your yard. Period. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to poison yourself or somebody else. Hello, Yulo. Congrats. Yeah, I know do mushrooms. I might be able to do morels. I'm doing good. But I legit tried dead nettle last year. I think it's a video. I have done sour gum, fruit, dandelion. How are you doing, Yulo? Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. I don't do mushrooms because I'm not good at identifying mushrooms. And I'm not a really big mushroom eater. So, since I'm not 100% on it, I'm not going to eat it. I want to try evening primrose, but the only plants that grow in my yard grow by our garbage cans, which is off of the driveway, and I'm not doing that. Not going to do that. I have Biollante. She's up there. She's right there. You will save yourself a lot of worry if you know. It's a mushroom. I don't know if it's all I know is it's a mushroom. And I'm hesitant about doing edible plant videos. I should do a video where I prepare dandelion for deep frying, but it's a lot of work. My brother has Japanese bamboo growing on his property, but it's right off his driveway. So that's not happening. But that, you can actually cook it and use it like you would rhubarb when it's young. Thistles, you can take the stalk and you can trim it and use it. I've done violet syrup. Wasn't impressed. Was not super impressed with it. Guys, it's okay to talk. Godzilla is that Godzilla versus Kong overgrowth equals Biollante? Sheldon, is that a mushroom or is that fern? Yeah, it's when the fern first comes up, it's sort of and I think it's not every fern. But it sort of looks like that. Oh, it sort of looks like that. Okay. So what Sheldon is talking about is you might have a dead tree or a dying tree. And oh man, the mushrooms grow on the tree. Okay. I didn't know if everybody did. Guys, my phone is at 15%. And I don't know where my cable is. So I'm going to have to go. I will have to go because it's going to die and I won't be able to say goodbye. So I'm going to say goodbye now. I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to try my best to go live tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And then again at 6 p.m. Well, that's because I've been using my phone. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good evening. I will see you tomorrow for sharks. Have a good night. Adios. Thank you, Sheldon.